What is Isese and what's the religion about?
Do you believe in Olodumare?
Yeah, I believe in Olodumare.
Why?
Yes.
Did he create heaven and earth?
I believe he's the cause of heaven and earth, but exactly how he did it, I don't know.
Your God is so delulu that he gave somebody a job in order for us to tell us the story of if you are drinking on a job, you are going to miss out on their job.
I need to tender an apology, right, to every Isese person. I was thinking your God had sense, right? You understand? I was thinking too high of their God. I even thought he's a real God. I didn't know there's a decent chance that God never exists. He's at best a fable. I didn't know. I'm just getting to know.
Why? You were too obsessed with Abrahamic religion to the point that you thought that template of Abrahamic religion is the template of this religion I'm talking about, and I just came to paste it here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to Rational Dialogue. This is episode 15. My name is Elon Jobs, in case you don't know me. On this podcast, what we deal with are topics that relate with religion, spirituality, faith, relationship, marriage. But in recent time, we have been discussing the problems with religion. We started with the problem with Christianity, and people on this panel have highlighted the different problems that they have with Christianity. We are hoping that you are going to drop your comments on that video. And if you don't know that video, you can click here to find it. And you are going to give us more other problems. By the time we are doing the second round, we'll be able to highlight and discuss those problems with Christianity, with Islam that we did last week. And now, the third on the list, Isese, the Yoruba traditional belief. That's what we want to discuss tonight. And there's no other person to represent them or to speak for these people than my brother, my friend, the guy that many of you used to claim that we look alike. I don't know why. I don't believe that me and Beatrice look alike. He's going to be representing the Isese camp with debates and arguments that speak for the religion that I have no proper understanding of. And then next week, we are going to be dealing with the agnostic. So, tonight, let's talk to the Isese camp and let's see what they have for us. Beatrice, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
What is Isese and what's the religion about? Because I can't find any corpus to look at and be able to say, oh, this is the problem I have with this religion. So the best thing I can do is to ask from the horse's mouth, what is Isese and what does it represent? What are we dealing with here?
Isese is the Yoruba traditional religion. And just like the name implies, it is the tradition that comes with, it is the religion that comes with the culture of the Yoruba people, culture and traditions of the Yoruba people.
Interesting.
Which prioritizes the worship of ancestors and ancestral spirits. And that's basically it. And then about the path of our path on this life and how we are going to see it through. That's basically the whole purpose of the religion.
So, if I'm getting you right, Isese is a Yoruba traditional belief that prioritizes the worship of ancestral spirits.
Yes.
So, what's the role of this ancestral spirit?
They guide us through our own journey in this life.
To guide you through your own journey in this life. So, they give you moral compass, they give you decision frameworks and all of that.
Yeah, that's part of it.
So, how do you talk to these ancestral spirits? How do you relate to these ancestral spirits?
We relate to them by worshipping them.
Can you list the top 5, top 10 of these ancestral spirits that
there are popular ones? Like for instance, I'm a follower of the Orishanla, the Obatala.
So you don't even know your spirit because all this I'm talking about. People that follow Christ know that they follow Christ. People that are fan of Muhammad know that they are, So who is your ancestral spirit?
Well, I think the reason why it's that simple for them is because they don't have many of such.
Oh, so you people are politics in nature.
Yeah, it passes as polytheistic.
Okay.
Because we reach Olodumare, who is the supreme god,
Mm-hmm.
these gods, small, we usually spelled as small gods, we call orishas. And these orishas, okay, the popular ones like you were asking about, we have the Obatala, we have Eshu, we have Ogun, we have Shango, and so many more. We have Orisha Oshaoko, so many. There are so many of them.
Sango nko? What about
I
Sango?
mentioned Sango already.
Okay.
Oshun.
Ogun.
I mentioned
Oshun.
exactly.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. So, do you claim that these have been ancient practices even before Christianity and Islam comes to a country like Nigeria?
At least.
Wow, interesting. So tonight we want to look at, based on the information we can find on the internet, that we can Google search, we can ask ChatGPT and the likes to question and query this religion. What is your source of knowledge in Isese?
I think the fundamental source of knowledge is the Oduifa, which is the wisdom of Orunmila that was given to Orunmila and which is translated to us. And basically that's it. There are 16 Odu. And okay, maybe I shouldn't go into the deep details of how you break it down to form 256. It's a long story. Maybe I will make another video on that one.
Okay. Don't buy us too much into the details. If you have problem with it, we are going to ask you question about it. So primarily, you have these Odufas that you use to do divination and then consult your ancestral spirit that talks to God. Do you believe your God created heaven and earth, or you guys don't have heaven? Or what? Which is the case?
The thing is, it's not the way we know them to be in the okay, people should know that this religion is not an Abrahamic religion.
Okay.
So it does not usually follow the pattern of Abrahamic religion. There's afterlife.
There's an afterlife.
Necessarily heaven or whatever.
Interesting.
But there's afterlife. And it's not like afterlife is for judgment, like is the case in the world. It's just like a path to transition or something like that, or reincarnation, to rebirth, as the case may be.
So you guys believe in rebirth and reincarnation?
Yes.
Wow, interesting stuff. Such a religion.
That's just the case with it. And then when we're talking about Olodumare, is the supreme God, who at the end of the day we are reaching to overall. Do
you guys do what is now called human sacrifice as a form of appealing to these ancestral gods?
Anymore, or in the past?
I don't know. In the past, in the present, which is the case?
There have been instances
of
such in the past, but in recent time, there's no proof that there's such. Nobody can really.
There's no proof that
there is such anymore, and I can confirm that.
You guys have moved from your wicked ways.
You can call it wicked ways, but yeah, it used to be. It's now wicked. In hindsight, definitely.
So
before
it wasn't
wicked.
It wasn't necessary.
So that's me, because you seem that very interested in questioning this guy. You have already set the ground for basic things, I believe, that we all should know about Isese. For the listener out there that's listening to this and hearing about Isese for the first time, I think that's a solid start for us on this episode to say, we have a grounding of what Isese looks like, politics, worshipping of ancestral spirits to reach to Olodumare. Although he has not given me a clear answer about whether his God created heaven and earth. I don't understand yet. But let me see. Dan Smith, do you know the religion he's talking about?
Thank you very much. Me for one, I have been expecting this conversation for a while.
For a long time.
I'm glad here we are today. I have several questions to ask, but let me ask this first one. It's a series of questions. Maybe A. If you're in post science, you say question number A, 1A, 2A, 1B.
2B.
So the first one is who is an Isese person?
Very interesting. Who is an Isese person?
Make someone an Isese person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I will just answer it simply as somebody who actually, when you ask him that what's his religion, tells you that he's an Isese person. I think that's like the foolproof way of saying that. Because
so it's just the same way when somebody say I'm a woman, I should just take that person as a woman, or a guy say I'm a woman, or a woman say I'm a man. Should I just take it? What's your identification process?
The thing is, it's not like there's some
there are no pillars
that will now automatically show on your forehead or something. So it's not something like that.
So what you're saying, there are no poles, there are no pillars.
For you to actually confirm someone is an Isese person, so ask that person, are you an Isese person? And then the person replies to you that yes, I am an Isese person. Because you will, at the end of this time, mistaking people that actually join Oro or whatever, and then you ask them what's their religion, they tell you they are Muslims, they tell you they are Christians. So that happens a lot. So that you won't have that kind of misunderstanding. People that have actually gone through initiation process of Ifa that will tell you they are Muslims. There are so many of them. Like,
Okay.
So instead of, or even somebody like Oba Solomon that has gone through the initiation process of Ifa that is going to say that he does not believe in any religion. So he's not a religious person. So you can see that it's not like you can. If I want to say it's the initiation process, I'm wrong, because people will tell you they are not Isese people and they have gone through the initiation process. I have not gone through the initiation process, and I will tell you I'm an Isese person, and I'm so bold enough to say I'm an Isese person. So it does not. So I can't just go and.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So
Thank you very much.
So it's by self-representation.
Yeah, by being bold enough to claim it, to say you are actually one. I think that's the full proof with.
Even if you are going to church, even if you are seen in mosques.
Yeah, if as long as you can actually declare that you are an Isese person when they ask you what's your religion.
So will people in Isese camp agree with you that that's what constitutes an Isese person?
I think many people will agree with me. I think many people will, because of the other things I've explained as why we can't just use some specific activities to judge it.
So
many of them.
You are saying Isese is also a religion of the heart. It's whatever you believe in your heart, so shall it be.
Not necessarily the case. It's like, I'm just saying that how others can identify you. That's what I'm saying. Like how others can identify that this person is an Isese person.
Okay, there's no clear. But what are the tenets to a core Isese? If you are a true Isese person, what are the tenets?
I think it's important for someone to go through the initiation process.
So that means,
talking to someone recently,
based on that, you are not an Isese person.
No, I did not say that that's what makes someone an Isese person. I'm just saying those are what I think are performative activities that are important.
Okay.
Because if it's about the initiation process, there are many people that have gone through the initiation processes that are Christians, that are Muslim. So that's going to be a problem for me to say that's what makes you an Isese person. We are going to fall into a problem.
Okay, it's important to go to the.
Well, I know
is that what they call the body or something?
I spoke with someone recently who is an Isese person, lives in the UK. He said he had been an Isese person for several years, and then he just started feeling like he needed to go through the initiation process, and he had to travel from UK down to Nigeria to
do the initiation
process, and he went back to UK afterwards. So, and he said things have been better for him. Like, he wished he had done that earlier because he would have escaped so many things that were later told to him that he would have, if he had heard about. They would not, some certain evil will not be falling.
You could have afforded. Wow, very interesting.
I don't know what you are talking about, but the person went back to UK.
So that's me. Proceed with your question. What's your question B?
So question 1B is Mr. Tracy. Are you an Isese person?
Yes, I am an Isese person.
What makes you an Isese person?
Because I'm telling you right now that I am an Isese person. That's my religion.
Okay.
Isese by self-declaration. Please
let me give you a reverse of that, so you will see, so we can clear it up quickly. Are you an Isese person?
No, I never claimed to be one.
Oh no, you see, you hear from him like that.
Exactly.
So I think my point is self-expressive that way. But are you a Muslim?
Definitely, yes.
So I that's enough for me. That's
enough for you.
Exactly.
Okay. There's this lady on Instagram. She's called Coach Tommy. Right? She's a Black American. So every year she travels to Nigeria to come and perform some divination. Right? And she usually she claims that she's an Isese woman. Right? Every year you see her at the Oshun performing the rites there. And with some publications I've read online, for you to be an Isese person, like even into like he claimed earlier that they worship some gods to have connection with the Eledumare.
Ancestral spirit and co.
So since I've known you, I haven't seen you done any of such before.
Such performative acts, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I am intending to do those. I have it in my...
Does that not mean that you are seeing the process of becoming an Isese person?
No,
has that made you an Isese?
It's a daily process. That's the funny thing.
It's
not like it's going to be... There's an end to it. Even after doing the initiation, I will still have to be continuing.
Wait, so we are not planning to carry a shoe to come to this house and start...
I do not worship a shoe, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there's freedom of religion in this
No,
country.
not in your house.
So
Not in my house.
So you are planning on doing those initiations and
I mean, I'm even planning. I am looking at next year as a definite time to
very
do
soon.
initiation.
Okay. I remember sometime, is it earlier this year or last year? I saw some people outside, they were doing this Isese stuff, and I ran to let me go and call
Tracy.
the
Isese guy.
The Isese guy. Maybe you should come and see people and join them and
do the Isese right.
Isese with them.
No, like what?
Wait.
Yeah, let me.
I remember I called you that day. I said no, you're not going. No.
No, let me tell you what I did. Like, so for the audience, what he's saying is correct. Like, he actually came to tell me that I even saw them first before he told me that they were doing this Egun, some, like, you know, this around kind of festival. So people masquerade, they wear masquerade, what's the name, and then
they are flogging each other and all of that.
Some people flog each other, people run around following the
masquerades.
And so he told me that why don't I go and join them since I'm an initiative person? And I told him, and you know, like, just because I'm an initiative doesn't mean I have to join every gathering.
It doesn't mean you have to go to Jehovah Witness. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you have to go to Jehovah Witness.
Or even not only Jehovah Witness, does not mean I have to go to every church service that is happening near me. So just because they are holding a church service.
But I haven't seen you going to anyone.
Yeah, I know what you are saying.
How many of such happens in a year?
No, if you are talking about how many activities happen.
You know why I actually asked this question?
Yeah.
Why I ask is the fact that it's not on the same level. Because I know a church there, I know another one down there, I know there are several churches around. And this one is what this masquerade thing.
But before you shoot yourself in the leg, it's every day that they worship some God, do you know?
Of course I know, but this masquerade thing is one.
There's a Yoruba saying that says Ojo la wure some or something like that.
It's not once in a year. You can just say in this area.
There are ancestral spirits. I know for a fact there are ancestral spirits and gods that are worshipped daily.
Yes. No.
So what do you mean it's not frequency? It's frequency. It's a frequency.
What I'm saying
is just talking about like the festival, Abi.
The festival. So I'm not saying it because you didn't follow them, then you are not interested.
I guess your point.
They are not.
It's not on the same scale.
Like what you mean is that yours happen, like for Christians, for instance, like there are always services being held. But what I would like to ask is that are you saying that you don't attend those services because they are frequent, or because you don't need to go that day? Are you saying that the reason why you don't attend all the services they are holding
because they are too
frequent?
I agree with that, and that's why I'm saying that this festival happens like very.
Now, it might not go to that one.
We cannot speak. We cannot.
The point is like
and then go to different.
You know why?
John, we cannot speak to his instance. He has chosen not to appear. He claims to be an Isese. He is. As far as we know, I don't know whether we have any other proof out there that says that, you know, unless you claim otherwise or something, or you must do something by 5 by 4 before you say you are an Isese person. As far as you know, he self-declared himself as an Isese person. He promised to do the performative rites, so he's an Isese person.
Let me add this. Okay, in motion. Okay.
In motion.
Because to be a true Isese person, there's need for you to visit Babalawos on a regular basis for Ifa divination.
Right? That's what makes someone a true Isese.
Because there's this saying that Boni Sheri Kola Olori Loja Difa Olorun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And is there in your corpus, right?
I understand that it's very important to always check your divination.
And so if you sit here to defend
throughout this year, I'm not differ.
How
many days?
I don't even know how many days.
Sorry, not.
It's not weekly.
Like
100 days. Okay.
So the funny thing is the fact that I even joined the religion this year. So I think it's not like I've been.
So technically you're expected to differ every 3 months, sort of.
It's technical, not like it's like a direct statement of some sort of.
It's not a direct statement.
It's not like a requirement or anything at all. It's not like a forceful requirement or anything. But it's just important. You should know that you should always do that so that you won't be making rash decisions, so that you won't be falling into different traps and everything. Like
But you haven't done any of that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm intending, like I like fully committed to actually doing those things. So
Does that not sound like you are doing the religion out of your convenience?
it's always going to be out of one's convenience, regardless of who you are or whatever. It's always going to be out of your convenience. If you don't have time to do some things, you won't still do them.
Muslim knows as a standard they're supposed to fast to pray 5 times a day.
But so many of them don't do it.
Yeah.
And they do it out, and it doesn't make them.
It doesn't mean they are standing
Muslim.
upright.
It just means they are not upright Muslims.
So you are not an upright
I
Isese.
definitely agree with that. I am far from upright Isese. That's like a high peak that even in the next 10 years I won't be able to reach, and I'm looking forward to reaching that. So
Anyway,
Mr. Dasu, continue your question so that Josh can.
Thank you. A true Isese person will see you as just somebody using their label.
what, are you sure about that? You need to
Sure.
I've spoken to several
because
who are happy to hear me being an Isese person.
wait.
So I'm surprised.
Of course,
that
they would like people to join their religion,
Mm.
but then you're just using it as a label. You're not doing anything close to.
You are
Close
just
to
sitting
being an
and
Isese person.
conveniently
So
bearing
you
Bamubade
Because
Emmanuel
you've
in
been at this
class.
since last year.
So you are.
You've been at this since
actually-
last year. Wait,
No,
you've been at
this
yes,
year,
no,
this year.
not this year, since last year.
When was that?
I don't know, but so
It was
this
this
is last year. If you remember clearly, since last year.
It was this year.
You've been talking about
Yes,
this
no?
last year.
Are you
Maybe
sure?
make
Yes.
act-
So you are just convenient
Oh, that's last year
bearing Bamubade
ending. Yeah,
Emmanuel
that's-
in class. Not even if
I don't
not
need
even.
to, I don't need to change my name.
It's
It's not
Wale.
a requirement at all.
You did not do
It's
anything.
not even a requirement at all. Changing
not a
the name
requirement.
is not a requirement at all.
Interesting.
So,
I believe there are some people that are doing session and listening to this so that they can
yeah,
help us
it's not a
facilitate this guy.
requirement at all. Changing the name is not. It's not. That's nothing to do with
Interesting.
this. Like it
Interesting.
has zero to do with this.
Now,
And so
now we have talked about the person enough. Now let's talk about the religion. So far, what we know in the public domain. Dan Smith, what's your problem with Isese? Do you have any particular ick with Isese? What's the issue?
Actually, I tend to respect people's religion and views,
Mm.
right? But one major problem I have with these people is the fetishness of their religion.
What
Right.
do you mean by fetishness of the
Like I've seen people cutting dog heads and pouring the blood on some on their shrine. So all those kind of stuff, I'm not cool with them.
But you people
Right.
kill cow, what's it called? Ram every year too.
Of course, we consume them, right?
They too, I don't know.
and
Isese-
there are sacrifices that are meant to be consumed.
But
are-
some are not consumed.
Some are not consumed. Yeah, definitely.
So is it the issue you have?
So
is
usually
about
you
consumption?
have
The
one like not being consumed
consumption,
and-
that's
like
the issue I
what
have.
the issue you're having is that they are sacrificing things and they are not consuming them.
Yes,
Like right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So what's
So I've
wrong
seen
with What's wrong with it?
wrong with.
What do you
To
think?
me, I
is
see
wrong
that.
with
To me, I see that just as waste of animals or
food
food resource. And also, I don't want to wake up and see Ebo
it's
in front of my house.
That, or every three, what do they call it? Three
T
junctions.
You just wake up and you see somebody play some.
When I was
Ebo
in
and
secondary school, I remember that one day I saw one money inside palm oil and pap.
Okay.
Pap, egg, and money inside it. Me, I pack the money and I spend it because I don't understand. I cannot eat the egg and the one because publicly and possibly dust and everything. But at least I can pack the money and spend it, and I pack the money and spend it.
The funny thing is that I also saw one time. Like I remember that time. That was 2012, I think. And I was a Christian then, and then I saw it. I was shocked. Then I went to where I was working then, where I was learning fashion design. I went to call the guys that I saw money. Some people are sacrificing money, like every denomination from 5 naira to 1,000.
The funny part is that I'm a very smart woman. When you should express that, I'm not the one that actually pack it. I sent one boy to pack it.
See,
So I went to meet those guys.
Do you know that it had consequence?
Come.
Did I tell you the consequence?
Because the consequence.
By now, if you go and check your Eleda, it will tell you that by now you should be richer than Elon Musk.
Oh, but it's because about that money. They want.
So okay, let me finish my own story. So when those guys they went to pack the money, my eyes, I was like, ha. And then they were like, do I want part of it? I said no.
No.
And I was like,
See, Isese
so
boy.
now,
that's-
like,
that's-
I didn't know if I was going to be an Isese person. And I've heard a kind of perspective from someone that when people pack those money, is like part of answers to your prayer in the first place.
That
So at the
your-
end of the day, because if you sacrifice and then they do not come and eat it, like the
Birds of the air
and
and
co
co
do
did
not
not
come
pick
and
it up.
eat it is, I don't know.
It's not accepted.
So
That's the meaning.
what I know is that it's not accepted. That's why I know.
So we helped that
so
airport
they
to become
actually
accepted.
helped the airport. to
Funny
keep-
enough, I did not touch the money till I spend the finish.
You should have touched the money.
Why would I touch the money? I'm a very smart boy.
It wouldn't have really mattered.
I'm a very smart boy. Somebody can pack it on my behalf. You can buy stuff on my behalf.
And then you think anything ever happened to that person? The person is probably ill and active.
I don't know. I don't care to know. Why will I know? You know?
But I strongly believe if you see such, I think it's okay if you pack it. I don't think it's wrong for you to pack it. I've heard a lot of people that say you will get stuck. You will do different things.
You
You turn to yam. I don't believe in such. I don't.
Interesting. You are hearing from the Isese boy that is not really Isese. So,
If you like,
viewers alert. Follow instruction. And he said, cars are parked at owner street. Instructions are followed at owner street. So that's means all you have is that they are wasting the meat.
So all you don't like about the sacrifice is the dirtiness they are constituting one. I mean, and two, the fact that
Some of those sacrifices, it's not
the-
all of those sacrifices.
some
it's
of those
just some.
sacrifices
Yes,
are
yeah.
not consumed and they are instead wasted.
Exactly.
I know what you are talking about, but I think given the importance of the sacrifice to an Isese person, he does not see it as a waste. What is sacrificed? He does not see it
Because
as
sometimes I've seen that when they put food out there, like mad people used to eat it, and you cannot say mad people are not hungry. You understand? Sometimes, you know, things like that, they disappear. So when they disappear, that means somebody somewhere have eaten it.
But when you
So-
are talking about like the debt they are constituting, I think that should be on the hand of the government to enforce that things should not be placed at certain places. That's not that I don't really see that as a problem with Isese. I see that as much of failure of our administrations. Because guys, if you say okay, they are not sacrificing stuff there are other people that are going to litter those places so it's not really a matter
With
of-
bottled water or
with
anything
any
else.
other kind of
There's a-
or people that
there's
are
a-
actually wasting food that just pour
Wait.
it outside.
There's a street along this road there. It was clearly written on the wall there. Do not drop elbow here again, ever.
So you see,
And I promise you,
now
I saw one elbow there that
now
day.
anybody that dropped their body should be picked up. I am
And
also
but what
But
he is
the
saying
thing
is
is
that the religion like abhors people that like it
That-
gives people platform to be
to
dirty
doing
and
that.
all
to do that.
Uh,
let me give you an instance. Let me give you an
to do
instance.
that.
Now, people that do parties on the streets and then they put their tents on the road because their house is beside it. We could say the government should not allow them, but at the same time, they are doing bullshit, and we will tell them that they are doing bullshit.
That's what we are telling you. So you cannot just
Okay.
make it a government problem.
So
you know?
all I know is that if government enforces it, most people will not put those things there. But I understand the fact that even though government is not
your
enforcing
religion
it,
is
people should- that
constituting
it
public
allows people
nonsense.
to- it
That's what
allows-
we
it
are
encourages
saying.
that. And that's the same way I know that I'm also guilty of calling out other people on that, because I remember that I used to call out Christians that preach in public transit and stuff like that. But even though I believe that it should be the government, but I know that the religion also. So I admit that.
But the
that's-
people in your camp to do a gugun and they will be shouting up and down with drum and
No, I mean that in public transit, somebody will just stand up and start preaching.
okay.
That's not common to many other religions.
Okay,
So, I'm not attacking them, I'm just saying
no. Anytime I go to car park,
Exactly. God bless you.
most of these women,
God bless you.
Listen,
They beg,
Osun Agba,
Car allows both Ole and Ole. I'm talking about inside the public transit, like you're in the car.
was I outside the public?
inside public transit that do not.
No,
Was
like
that-
it's always like it's many times it's pasted. I believe they are constituting nuisance. I'm not saying that it should be that it's wrong or not, that they are committing a crime or not. I'm just saying that to me, I feel like these things should be regulated. That's just like if you know in BRTs in Lagos, they regulate it.
Mr.
And allow-
Oh,
Abdul,
because-
I was inside the car and this woman was doing to
even if I'm in the car and somebody is doing that, I would be irritated as well.
Yeah.
Because
But some people that are irritating
I'm
us.
just pointing out like how what he's saying is like my religion also as it makes people
contribute to that menace.
I that's
to that
I'm
public
pointing out
menace.
why I agree with that, because I know that I used to call people out on other situations when you
Excellent. I love. Don't over explain yourself. Don't kill yourself for explaining. Any other question before I move to Josh? Tell me what your brother has been lost to the. I understand you moving to cultural Christian, agnostic type, blah blah blah, but your brother moved completely from Christianity to Isese. Do you have any problem with that? With the religion you moved to, or you think God is everywhere? In the first place, you even doubt there's God. So, what's your ick with the whole move and the religion itself?
Okay, so what's my ick with the entire thing? My major issue with them is that it's the entire thing, the entire setup looks like they are clowning, right? And how do I explain that? Is the fact that Odu Ejogbe says that Olodumare saddled this nigga Obatala with the task of creating heaven and earth, right? Olodumare, when I check the qualities of Olodumare, is that he knows, it's more like he knows the vibe that he's a supreme deity, and then he knows almost everything, everybody's destiny and everything.
Yeah.
That was what they said it at. And then it looks like Olodumare was supposed to be a strategic god. Now, the nigga that he gave the contract,
what do you mean he's supposed to be a strategic god? Like,
given that context, the fact that he can know destiny
he
now,
predestined everybody or what?
yes, he knows the beginning and end with the
like
description.
He predestined people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So he's supposed to know everything thereof, right? Now, knowing fully well of a supposed God that knows everything, that predestines everything.
Everything.
Now, it doesn't seem like that God is not a clown.
Mm-hmm.
Not to have given the contract of creating earth that me and you are in to a drunkard. He gave the guy the contract.
Interesting.
The guy drank palm wine. He finished it, and when he finished the whole thing, he forgot he was even given the assignment.
Wow.
And his brother took up the task.
That's kind of
Wow.
I was not creating the people. So that one, it looks like they are entirely clowning to me. Well, that's one. And the second part is that, okay.
So let me recap your one. In one word, you are saying that you don't give credences to your creationism story.
yeah.
It's lacking discipline, it's lacking strategy, it's lacking order, it's lacking direction, it's
Exactly.
non-strategic, it's clowning. In one word.
Exactly, this clown. Exactly. So
Like that one.
maybe you want to answer that before I
Okay.
get to the
Not necessarily an answer. I will just tell you that first of all, the story is not like it's not
Is in Odufa.
The fact that it's in Odufa does not mean that it is declared as truth. It is a story, just like you said, like the way like something is in Paris. It is not an
I'm coming. Wait.
How do you not know Olodumare?
No, don't get what I'm saying.
Wait,
twisted, okay?
calm down. Wait, before I go ahead, do you believe in Olodumare?
Yeah, I believe in Olodumare.
Why?
Yes. I believe because I am Olodumare is. I believe there is a supreme being, and the supreme being is Olodumare.
Did he
And
create
that's the same.
heaven and earth?
I believe is the cause of heaven and earth, but how he did it, I don't know. And I think that's part of the features of Olodumare.
Do you believe? I'm
because
coming now. Do you
You
believe?
don't know where that comes from or not.
No,
So
no.
now the story-
Let us be clear on
Okay.
something. Let us be clear on something. The Ifa is the source of truth in the
Of
Isese.
knowledge. Is the source
Of knowledge.
Yes.
Good. Of knowledge.
Yeah,
Pay attention to the of knowing.
exactly.
That is how you know stuff.
Like it is the most important source of knowledge.
Knowledge. Thank you. And then the Ifa corpus
Yeah.
is claiming that Olodumare, this is the process he used to create heaven and earth. Who are you to declare otherwise? That is just a story.
Let me tell you how I know that it's just a story. Because I did not just read only one segment of the Oduifa.
Okay.
I've read several. I know that it's like a story just comes ahead in front, then interpretation.
So give us this.
Let me give you
a
another
story
example.
and
There's a funny
instant.
story of where Orunmila was said to have a wife that went to the market and fought
We are not interested in that.
No.
We are not interested.
Listen,
We are still talking about creationism.
I will get back
We are
to
still
that.
talking about. Don't take us to
If you are
story.
saying that if you want to nitpick a section of the OG5, you want to say that's.
And let's talk about the creationism story because other people
I want to paint another story. I want to
somewhere.
ask you if you think that's historically accurate. If that's
No, wait till
no. If you can't, if you don't want to listen to that, then we have a problem.
No,
doesn't mean that you can't just pick a segment and then you don't want to listen to other parts.
there's
That
a
will
problem.
clarify the segment.
There's a problem you want to put yourself into that
Which is?
I'm trying to save you from. Because
Which is?
the story you want to talk about, I know the story.
Yes, and I want people
now
to hear
where
the
I'm
story.
going is that even if you go into that story, what I'm still going to nail you with is the fact that it is a story from your source of knowledge, which you are credited to be truth. If it's a source of knowledge, we are crediting it to be truth. That is where we treat the Bible. That is where we treat the Quran. We did not tell us that they are telling us stories for the gods. That is the way we treat other religion. Now you are going to present with an equal corpus and you are going to go back and say it's just a Christian story.
So since you brought in the other religions, so I will show you with the other religions. So the Bible is the ultimate source of knowledge, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
now the story, the parable of that Jesus was saying about the sower. Do you want to tell me that is historically accurate? That is a truth, like historically accurate truth? Like we can go back to a particular point in time and we see a sower doing that activity that Jesus said. Since that's the ultimate source of truth. So are you saying that that's the case?
Let the scriptures talk.
Is
Is
that
that not
the
true?
case?
So Jesus is just, going back and forth for nothing.
He's driving a point home, and me, I understand that. That's the point. And it's just
before
Answer the question. Can we say there's a sower at one point in time?
that was doing exact thing that the story that Jesus was painting. And then remember the story of Lazarus.
Now the funny part is that let me tell you this why is not the same thing. The sower doesn't have a name. There's nothing like Orumila or Batala.
Okay.
The sower doesn't have a
use
name.
the story of Lazarus and the rich man. Lazarus has a name. So you want them that Lazarus you can go back to.
No. Let him answer. Let the Christian.
Lazarus story.
So Jesus was just copying.
I don't believe the Lazarus story is not true.
So so you want them that there's a particular point in history where the Lazarus story was happening. Because I don't know.
Let the Christian talk because I don't know.
Stating an historically accurate fact despite the background, the context of that story.
I think there's no part that pointed to it that is not.
So are you saying it is historically accurate? That's my point. Like, does that mean it's historically accurate? Every parable that Jesus said were historically accurate.
This Lazarus one that you talk about, I do not know exactly the details if it's happened. But if someone tell me that that's what happened, I would not have any.
Christians take their book as truth.
So
The Quran, the Muslim people take their truth as truth. Now you want to be telling us that your own is anki-panki story.
No,
Now you have a name of character.
Just because you are used to and familiar with
see.
does not mean every other religion is like that.
Before you give us who call this bullshit for us, right? Remember that even all these stories that they talk about, there are some that they will even give disclaimer that this is a parable. It was telling a particular parable. I will say it's a parable. So are you telling me it is written in your listing that this is a parable
of how the
that it is exclusive there?
Those stories are parables.
That
they are used to drive home a point. They are not necessarily historically accurate. They are not historically accurate.
How do you know that they were parables?
How do you know the stories that are not parables? Are there stories that are not parables in the corpus?
No, there are no stories that are not parables.
So
that's what I'm saying.
How do you know anything in your corpus?
Because the corpus does not contain historical fact or historical accuracy. That's not what the corpus contains.
So how come it's the basis of your faith? How come it's the basis of your
I'm not saying it's the basis
religion. How come it's the basis of your?
Because it gives practical advice after telling a story. I'm sure you have talked that you have given a speech where you told a story, not necessarily accurate, and then you used it to draw an insight. So that's basically
there's chance.
Let's now follow you through that line for a second. So the parable and the insight of that story is that your God is a delulu God that do not know who to give the right assignment.
That's where I'm going to.
That doesn't know who to give the assignment.
That's where I'm going. So you, in your own mighty knowledge, believe that he gave somebody a task, the person failed on it, and then another person took it up. That's a failure story of some sort. That's a non-strategic story of some sort. The person that provided the person that will take over in case somebody messes up is not strategic. One in case someone messes up. And two, the person that messed up, that situation became a story of strength for him afterwards, which is understanding what is wrong and what is not wrong, which is drinking alcohol and stuff like that. These are kind of the points that are being passed. So now you want to tell me a perfect story and you want to tell me this world we are living in is perfect. How do people draw lessons that this thing is wrong? Alcohol is wrong from such story of the perfect story where you paint where somebody just descends.
So
and
your God is so delulu that he gave somebody a job in order for us to tell us the story of if you are drinking on a job, you are going to miss out on their job.
It's not about
Is that the point you are trying to make?
like this is a story that these lessons can be drawn from. Now you want to tell me, because you are speaking as like just
So in one word, there's nothing that points to the fact that it's Olodumare that created.
let me give you the better.
In one word, there's no factual statement that your Olodumare created.
Factual statement.
There's
No,
nothing
there's no
like
such
that.
factual
So
statement.
the entire
So now about the no such factual statement, I just want to show that what Josh is saying about the strategic or non-strategic is just cap. It's the fact
What do you
that
mean it's just cap?
it's just drawing nonsense. It's because the fiction writers, you are talking as if you have never written fiction before. So you are saying a fictional writer because he's strategic, just writes a story borogidi, like because just to show he's strategic. He writes a story. Someone writes a story in a way that so the lessons can be
your God is a storyteller.
So because what is in the corpus is a story. That's my point.
No,
wait. I need to tender an apology, right, to every Isese person. I was thinking your God access.
What
right?
do you mean?
You understand? I was thinking too high of their God.
Okay.
I even thought he's a real God. I didn't know there's a decent chance that God never exists. He's at best a fable. I didn't know. I'm just getting to know.
No. It's not like
How did you know that he's a little that did whatever?
It's even real.
If everything is a fiction,
If everything is a fiction, how do you know that Olodumare is even real?
So I'm saying that what I'm saying is that when what's the name? Okay, so after the story has been told, now the insight that is being drawn, which is the non-fiction part, is referring to this individual. What does that mean?
Can you please answer
What
my
differentiates-
question?
No,
Can
do
you
you know that we cannot
different.
calm
It's
down?
clearly different if you read it.
Calm
Like,
down.
it's clearly different.
Can
from
you do you
from
agree that we cannot get wrong on symbolism? I can create dragons and
I'm not
whatever
denying
and
that. That's what I'm saying. This is
It
a matter of
doesn't-
symbolism.
So if you are not stating fact, that means you are not factual.
I can tell the
That's
entire
what
thing is not
natural
built
science is
on
all
fact.
about.
I was thinking too high of
No,
the entire
it's not like you
setup.
were thinking
That's
too
what
high.
I'm saying.
It's not like you were thinking too high. You were too obsessed with Abrahamic religion to the point that you thought that the way Abrahamic religion is the template of Abrahamic religion is the template of this
I
religion
thought
I'm talking
when
about.
people are,
And
we
just
are
came
talking
and
about
just
religion,
paste
I think
it
we are
there.
trying to explain, say existence. We are trying to make sense of how everything came into being. Is that not the case?
What I'm telling you about how everything came into being is that in Isese there is no historical accurate.
There's no
story
account.
there's no historically accurate account on
For
this
how-
topic.
that there's even
So which means
Dudley
I
Dudley.
can declare that your God did not create heaven and earth as a matter of fact.
And I will not. I will say, oh, that's
Because
what
he
you
don't
think.
even claim it.
No problem. I will
doesn't
say,
even
no,
claim it.
Is that what you think? No problem.
What do you mean
No,
that?
no,
You don't provide me evidence. Because what you said is that it's a
You
fiction.
see
No,
the-
I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying I have evidence of that. You remember when I said I believe that he caused the existence of.
How now? We inside fiction.
This life.
Person that just writing fiction.
I'm saying
Because it may not be real because it's a fictional
I said I
character.
believe that he caused that to existence. That's my point. That's what I said. So if you choose not to believe that, it's fine.
In the
It's fine
first
with
way,
you.
I'm not choosing not to
So
believe that. I'm
exactly,
just
so
trying to
when you
inspire
and
to
you.
I'm
your
telling
belief
you
then.
my
So stick to your
what
belief in
I
that
think
case
about.
then.
I'm
If it's
telling you
about
what I
Your
think.
belief in that case then. Don't try to.
Make sure you don't make this mistake. If it's about sticking to each other's belief, we will not be
Well,
in
I
this
thought we won't
discussion.
be on this table at all.
I'm not saying that.
We
Why
want you
now?
to explain-
I'm just saying you don't need to use your or what your understanding of Isese is supposed to be to
are not-
explain Isese.
I'm not-
Or to force it on Isese. It does not work that way.
We are
And
not
I'm
forcing-
making direct statements as to this.
We are not
to you
forcing
that
young man.
Isese
You are
has
getting-
nothing to do with. Isese does not give you a
You are getting
historically
something
accurate
fundamentally
story
wrong.
on
You are
this.
getting
Account on
something
this.
fundamentally wrong,
Okay.
right? In theology, one of the first questions that we have are something like the theological debate. You know,
Okay.
those are the cosmological debate. Who created heaven and earth, right? Those are the kind of debate we have. So
Exactly.
if you want to introduce a religion to me, and we are having a rational dialogue so that we can possibly, maybe all of us start doing this tomorrow morning when you have convinced us, we need to ask you, is your God, is he the one that created heaven and earth? You understand? Is he the one that created we that we are here? Is he the one that created the stars? And you need to point us to where he declares such, the information that makes you believe so, you need to tell us. You can't just say you believe it, we cannot be forcing natural science on your religion. Why are we in this
I'm not
discussion in
saying
the
we are
first place?
forcing natural science on my religion. I'm
And
just
so what are you
can't
saying?
be using the template of another religion
We are not using
expect it to
I
work
for
that
a
way.
fact. I'm not using the term.
So good.
I'm saying where is
Okay,
he
so good.
declaring
Now
that
I'm
is the
saying
one that created heaven and
I'm
earth?
telling you that there is no declaration that he created heaven and earth, as the case may be.
So it is
in
safe
the
for me to
session.
just
because the fact
conclude-
that you even assume that there is one heaven created shows that you are working with a template that is not accurate.
I'm not
Or what
necessarily
does heaven mean?
I'm not necessarily saying maybe there's even heaven. I'm
So
asking.
let's ask
do you
the
even-
more accurate
do you have-
questions.
okay,
Yeah, let's
do you
start
have-
asking
do you have
accurate questions.
heaven in
Yeah.
your religion?
So we don't have heaven as you
So
do
let's
in
cancel.
our
Let's cancel.
religion.
Calm down. So let's cancel heaven for the religion.
Joe, let's
Is he the one that
let's cancel
created
the idea of
earth?
heaven or
Is he
whatever.
the one that created
So as
earth?
earth is as we know it to be, I know that there are places in what's the name in the Oduifa that refers to him as the one who knows about it, who has everything about it. I don't know for sure. I don't even think there's a place that directly says that he created it or whatever. I know there are stories of origin of life that I know that there are stories. They are clearly stories. And even the way they are told, the way they are exaggerated shows that no, they are not trying to state this in the accurate sense.
As a matter of fact.
As a matter of fact.
So in one word, your God did not create earth. As a matter of fact, there's no statement of fact
okay,
that
like
says
there's
your
no
God.
statement about I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that.
And
It's-
that's
where does your God live? Because you are telling me.
so that's the point of Olodumare. We don't know where he's from. We don't know where he is.
They
We
don't know anything.
where
They are
he's going.
confused. They don't know anything about him. He's a fictional
We
character.
don't know where he's
Where
going.
does Obatala come from? Because I know that how they used to describe it that when we are to Torumbo.
Right.
So which
When-
one are they talking about?
About.
Yes, I understand what you are saying. Like there's a different realm. I understand that, but I'm just saying. I just want to clarify when he was saying heaven and earth. Like it's not the way it is understood to be that there's one place that God is sitting somewhere, and then that's heaven, and other people are there, angels are there and stuff. So don't start mistaking that. They are realms
Be
and
Tracy,
God is
be
correct
Tracy,
realm.
be Tracy,
Or
be Tracy,
one does not have it.
be Tracy. What's your touch point with Obatala?
How?
You said he's your patron god.
Yes.
So what's your touch point with Obatala? Like, where did you even get to know of Obatala and all of that?
So
And
where do
where do you get those facts? Where do you get the
are based on oral tradition that have always been, that we have heard through generation passed down. Through
which
generations
are
passed
from
down.
where? Which are from?
They are just oral traditions that have always been.
See, I'm not done
That's
with
the
the
funny
creation
thing.
story because I want to set some things in system. Now, are you agreeing with me that there are no factual evidence that your God
Exactly.
created
I
this
agree. I
earth?
agree with that.
Now, by heaven, because you want to police me on heaven, I'm not saying that there's an heaven where the
Okay,
angel is shouting.
okay.
But at least we can hear from the couples that nígbà tí Ọbàtálá ń tọ̀run bọ̀ wálé
Don't
ayé.
see Kole on Wasaye.
Láyé. So we are talking about that heaven.
So you mean the other realm?
That realm.
of-
That realm.
of- that kind
That
of-
realm.
Okay. So
Because I don't know any other heaven
there are
exactly
definitely,
other
like you
than
said, there are
heaven.
no factual statements as to that or like anything. I totally understand that. But what has been the oral tradition and everything, and what I believe to be the case is that Olodumare, who we don't know where he came from, where he is and everything.
You are confused.
Because-
You don't know the nature of your God.
Because
you are don't have any data on him.
because that's the point. That's the point. We not knowing.
The point is that you don't know.
We not knowing about it.
The point that you guys are in confusion. You are in darkness.
So,
You don't know.
Not
There's no
necessarily. We
revelation.
are in confusion about who he is. We don't know.
You guys are confused
We can't understand
about who he is.
Exactly. That's
It's
the point.
whoever you say he is.
That not necessarily. Not that. That does not mean. It does not mean.
So you are
saying-
confused about who he is, but you think you can get through to him through some ancestral God
Exactly, because that's what.
to show how confused you guys are.
Because that's what has
Which
worked.
further affirm how
Because
confused
that's
you
what
are.
has worked.
Oh, because it has worked.
Because that's what those are what has worked. We
For
believe
you
has
people.
worked. Exactly.
Mm.
So and that's why we keep that. It's not meant to be understood.
You don't
by us.
understand the nature of your God, but you are
and
convinced.
his nature is not meant to be understood by us.
But you are convinced you can use
We
your
can reach
ancestral
him
to
at
reach
least.
him.
That's the least we could do.
That's why the fact that you don't understand his nature. I thought you guys said you don't understand his nature.
Exactly.
Now maybe you understand that you can reach him through ancestral God.
Because that's what has worked, like I said.
No, you say you don't understand his nature.
The fact that we can reach him through ancestral does not mean we understand his nature. It does not mean
No. That's you presuming that you understand his nature.
How do you
are
get
confusing
that?
yourself. There are two different premises there.
No.
Yeah, you have done natural logic very well.
So-
These are two different. You don't understand the nature of something. Now you say you can reach him through someone means.
Make it make
So
sense.
now-
Make it make sense, please.
We believe we can do that because that's what has worked. Don't forget
But
what
you
I said.
understand his nature, but you saying you can reach him.
You understand part of him now.
Okay, we understand that part of him, Abi. Is that what you are
Is
saying?
that not what you
That
are saying?
part of him, just that tiny, minuscule part of him.
So okay, so what other part do you not know? If you all of a sudden is just tiny middle school, how do you know the unknown? How else no come down? How do you know the unknown?
Every other thing is unknown. That's the point.
Which other thing?
Any
Because you
other
are claiming an
possible
unknown
thing.
that is unknown.
Any
And
other
you are claiming you
possible
know
thing.
the unknown that is unknown. What's your
Any
point?
other possible thing about him is unknown. That's my point.
What do you mean any other possible thing that you have
It's
not
meant
known?
to be unknown.
No, in the first place.
Now
What do
you
you
know
mean
this version of him.
No,
Is
not
that
this
not
version of him.
contradictory?
This
Calm down. You
This part,
can
that's what I'm
listen
saying
to
now.
yourself very carefully. You said you know somebody enough to find someone to him.
No, that's not the point.
That's what
You
it's
actually-
mean now.
maybe I should use clearer terms.
I'm trying to
you
use
see.
clearer terms for
So
you. Oh,
you
yeah.
said, do we understand his nature? Which means that we should be able to say everything about him. That's what we understand.
No. You are the one that's you are the one that's reading that wrong.
Oh yeah, so what does that
You
mean?
claim-
That do we understand his nature? Explain what it means. What you mean by do we understand his
At
nature?
least you say you can reach him.
No. Forget about. I said.
Why did we forget
what
about
do you
that
know?
one?
Like just before that.
Okay.
What do you mean by we understand his nature?
I mean, do you know him? Do you have access to him?
Okay,
Is
is that the meaning of we understand his nature?
no.
So if you can have access to him, you understand his nature.
Oh, definitely. At least that's what you know. Believe the level of known.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the known or knowable. I mean, you are making this mistake about.
Okay.
I am an atheist. You are
Okay.
making the mistake of believing that I expect you to know everything.
Oh,
I'm
so
telling
you know
this
that
unknowable.
you understand that. Oh, so thank God you understand
So
that.
on
There are
the
many
ground of knowable, you know
So on the ground of
him. You know
knowable.
enough to communicate
So
with
on
him.
the ground of
All of a sudden
knowable.
you say you don't know him again.
Oh, no, I thought.
Where are we?
No. What I mean by we don't know him again. When I said something that seemed like that, is the
Where
fact
are
that
we again?
we don't have full understanding of him.
So
That's
how do
what
you
I'm
know
just-
you don't have full understanding of me?
The reason why we know we don't have full understanding of him is because we have seen dramatic actions that we can't explain.
But then, does that not mean that you are ascribing it to him?
Abi?
What you don't know, you say
Abi?
you want to do something.
Exactly, that's the point. We anything we don't understand, we ascribe it to him.
Oh,
That's the thing.
Oh, God of
So-
the gap fallacy. You
so-
fill in the gap with God.
So everything we don't understand, we allude it to
you
him.
allude it to him.
So that's the point. So now that we have established that, what do we know so far?
okay.
Is the matter
No, I
of
understand you people
So,
delulu now.
what do we know so
Ladies
far?
and gentlemen, you understand the delulu. Anything that they don't understand, they ascribe it
what
to
do we
God.
know
That's
so
the
far? So
delulu.
what do we know so far? What we know so far is that they are orishas through which we can reach him. And those
How do you know that one? How do you even
No,
know
that's what the part they understand, the part they know. The rest, they just manifest it for him. They know the part that they can use to ancestral God to reach him.
So
but all the
that's
rest,
what
they
has
ascribe
worked.
that he has other mystical thing.
So that's what has
I
worked.
know my girlfriend, I know her, but I can reach her through ancestral God. But I don't know the rest of her. I don't know the color of her dress. I don't know but I know I can use her through ancestral God. Is that not the Lulu? You manifest an image in your head.
Like
And then you are worshiping it. That's what is happening here.
No, that's the case with anybody who believes in God. I think that's just the case with anybody who believes in God.
Oh.
They manifest an image in their head and then they worship him. So I don't think that's something special or something that is problematic.
I'm an atheist.
Only to
That's what I'm
Isese.
asking.
No, I understand you asking that, but I just want you to understand that that's the point of having a God.
Good.
If not, there won't be.
Josh, you have
If
one
not,
question
there
for
won't
this
be
young
the idea of having a God at all.
Wait, before you start carrying everybody along.
Okay.
Now, you said everybody just manifests something.
And then they start believing. Or do you want to tell me there's a way that Christians did not manifest God and start believing him?
Now, we date back our knowledge to what we call
Abraham, the Abrahamic
Abraham.
religion.
As the Abrahamic religion.
As the
And
father of
then
faith.
It is said that he was spoken to by God that he should leave his land, and then from there the story began.
Manifested from where?
Manifested from God speaking to him.
So you now say, I did not speak to that God at that point, and many people did not
And then
speak to
you are
that
not
God
there.
at that point.
Now wait. So it is written as an historical fact.
It was written several years later.
Yes.
Not like it was God has been created before the story started being. It's when even the stories began to be told.
By anonymous authors.
Anonymous authors.
But me now, my own connection to it, I can trace my connection to it that okay, after reading that book,
Okay.
I get to know that there is a God that some people have actually found at a particular time.
And then you can verify those.
So should I give you my own connection to it?
You can verify this and that. That's what you're saying.
Should I now give you my own connection, my own touch point, my own connection to this God we are talking about? It's true historical oral tradition that has been passed down from generation to generation that we are still discussing till today. That was my own touch point too.
Okay, good. Now, if that's your touch point, so how come you are nitpicking the Obatala point? Because it's part of the oral tradition. If that means you are giving primacy to oral tradition, and I said you guys are a clown, like the entire story is clowning, and then you are saying this is fable.
No, like my
you
saying is clowning. I say no. What I'm saying you saying is clowning.
You are giving primacy. Wait,
you are trying to say that the story has to follow a particular pattern.
No,
that you think is strategic.
don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
pattern that might miss
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. You are affirming the fact that oral tradition is big. Is the source
is how I heard about this
it's source of your knowledge and what formed your belief
exactly.
in the Isese thing.
Exactly.
Which ground? That's the ground of which the Eledumare this thing that of your religion comes from.
Exactly.
The Obatala that created the head comes from. You understand the entire
stories, Abi.
Yes, that's what your belief is in. So suddenly you are saying that you are discrediting the entire thing because you are discrediting the Obatala thing.
I'm not discrediting it. I'm just saying that I recognize it to be a story. Because it doesn't matter. So just because something is oral tradition.
No.
Just because something is oral tradition.
Let me get something straight. Right? Let me set some premise in place. Right? Dan Smith, you are the football guy, right? You remember this problem that we have when we are young, when they will tell us why India don't play football.
Okay, 99-1.
They will say India play with Nigeria 99-1. Blah 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 blah. Then until recently, what do we do? When we grow older to verify that data, what do we do? We look into the internet, we look into the record of football, and we finally discover that these are not true.
Those are
fake.
Those are fables, right? Now, are you placing your Ifa corpus in the same realm as such?
Oral tradition.
No, like no.
Do you know that this 99-1 thing is a very widely believed thing among children?
It was very.
As when we are young, I knew that for a
fact. Even till today, there are people who still believe it. So
is it in the same class, or what makes yours, greater than that in realm of?
I think the difference is like I don't think there's much difference, but why we say is the difference is the fact that I can read and understand that to be this is a story, because what follows is what is the application of this story.
And that one too, I can give the application of that story. How the other people that used to tell us I know the application of those stories.
They say that's why India is no longer playing
football and they used to teach us that there's always let me tell you this. Let me be done. You can use that to translate that in the face of terror, you stand up straight so that you're with your shoulders back. Let me be done with my syllogism. Me too, I can tell you 1,000 things that come from right. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. People like Okparaji, they are the people that stand up straight in the face of lion and even kick the ball and score it. It shows that you have to be a person of courage.
The ball turned to stone and
even though he lost his life,
even though he lost his life, he did what Jonah Pisa called you pursue with voluntary sacrifice. You pursue life with voluntary sacrifice because you are already in this game where you are going to die. So Okparaji pursued the game as a voluntary sacrifice. So he will score one goal. He's telling you the abyss and the abyss telling him I can do all of that.
Definitely. I mean, let me give a more interesting examples of what that kind of story is. It's the kind of story that they tell children that if you do this, you will something will happen. If you sit down on a mortar, this thing will happen.
Yeah.
That story,
the body of your mother
necessarily historically true. It's not necessarily going to be scientifically.
I get it. So now,
it's that kind of
where
story.
does yours become a solid
this kind
ground?
of story is that kind of story.
So where does yours now become a solid ground for a religious belief, for a belief in a God? Because I can't see no difference between the 99-1 Paradise story and what's it called, and Nigeria story against this your so-called fables that is passed down through oral tradition.
So now the purpose of the religion and what religion is based on is what those applications are telling us, even despite the stories.
Forget it. I always try to tell you that the next
so those are definitely.
Where does you just teeter to reality? How does that
I don't think
into believing that?
So like if you
should be sacrificing goats and be sacrificing human being and all of that. Why does that matter?
Where the difference start happening?
I think
where the difference start happening is that after people start doing this, they start getting results. Unlike they start getting certain results. I think that's what differentiates it. Because if not, I don't see anybody still pursuing that. So now, are you now telling me that?
So what you are saying now, if I'm getting you right, is that based on unverified placebo truth, whatever the case, we can go ahead and do something, and because we get results, it means that what you just told us is true.
It does not mean that what I told you is
so
true.
Why will you?
It just means that
it
has served the purpose.
Why you now?
The story has
why
served
you justifying
the
the story based on results?
I'm not justifying the story based on. I'm just saying.
Many lie do generate results.
Especially like even the examples I gave about.
I will tell you another one. I have a younger sister. She's from my mother's elder sister. I think I've told this story several times. Anytime she eats, she will go to the toilet. She will go and poo. She will go to the toilet anytime. So we started noticing the pattern. We say, So we told her about that. We show her masquerade one day. I will say that you see their masquerade. One day, if she's continue to eat and go to the toilet like that the masquerade will come and block her anus. Since that day, she stopped eating. She stopped going to the toilet after eating. She started even to the fact that just once per day, or even once per week before she goes to the toilet.
So it changed.
That's childhood story. So the fact that we told her that lie, does that teeter with the truth?
No, it does not.
The fact that it's not God's result, does that validate that story?
Like, what I think is that story can be told to different other people to prevent them from doing that. I think that will work. I think
so does that mean that the story is true?
That does not mean the story. I'm not saying the story of the creation story is true.
So why should people believe the Ifakopos if the stories are not true?
Now, the reason why it is necessary to tell that story, regardless, is because it creates that, even the story of the child. If I still have a child that is doing that, I will still tell that child that story so that the child will stop what I told him to stop. Okay. So that's just what this is about. This has nothing to do with maybe we are trying to check a veracity of it or anything.
So there are no truth value.
So now that I know that this is a story, I know what I need to do.
So in one word, there are no truth value in your religion.
It does not assume an unnecessary truth value. It does not assume
it's a simple yes or no. That means if I read your story, there's no reason for me to believe it is true.
You don't need to. You don't need to believe it is true. You don't need to. You do not need to. You do not. What I like about Isese is the fact that it's not a religion where we force people to come and join. That's the best part. Like, it's not a religion where you go out to tell people, there are beautiful things you will see.
We just want to know. We are atheists.
But now you after interfacing with this. And
with the lie that you mock up to make people do.
Is this necessarily a lie? That's my question.
What do you mean? We just discussed it.
Does a story something being a story used to drive home a point? Are we going to keep on with the energy that
when that story has no truth value?
So we are saying fictions are lies.
Are lies.
So now fictions
are make-up story. What is a make-up story? Make-up stories are lies.
So now the fact that something is let's call it lie, right? That's terminology we are using.
Exactly.
So now these fictions. If a fiction is causing...
Christian can claim that.
Like, let me give you an example.
Muslim can claim that.
Definitely.
Satanism everybody can, historian can claim that.
I don't think anybody can claim that.
Everybody can claim that. Even Wale Soyinka can claim that. What are you saying?
What I'm saying, even let me give you an example. George Orwell can claim that. Because 1984 is one of the most important novels in recent time that describes a utopian world. Now, or a dystopian world as the case may be. So now these kind of stories, the fact that they are fictional, the fact that they are a lie, or like you labeled it, does that mean they are useless? Does that mean they are?
We are not who is discussing usefulness.
So no,
if you are discussing many things are of useful nature. Many deceptions are of useful nature.
I'm admitting to you that is what the case is with this.
People take placebo and they heal from their illness. Doesn't mean that the placebo is a drug.
That's not how placebos necessarily work. The placebos only work for things that are psychological issues. that psychological that somebody believed is the case with him. That is not the case. Not like if you have a real issue, they are going to I give you placebo and it's going to work.
So you people, you solved your own with these placebo stories that you come up with. You solve these issues.
So now these stories having using stories to drive a message is what we do every time in human life, human nature, human existence, to drive in messages and to enforce action or whatever is what we do every time.
So you have this set of cook-up story in one word,
regardless of whether they are
results.
Fictions or not. Like even when we write a book, we cite different stories that are not necessarily historically accurate.
You agree they are cook-up stories.
So I definitely agree that the what's the name story, for example, is a cooked up, is a made up story.
So
I definitely
thank you very much for putting more context that the entire thing is clowning to me. It even makes it more clowning to me.
Clowning.
The fact that you understand is a lie.
We are coming. I don't have any issue with you.
Yeah, you understand. So now
many things will be clowning to you. The Bible will be clowning to you. The Quran will be clowning to you. I don't have any issue with that. I know that's
now. So
normal.
you see what I can interpret of their entire setup is clown, because you see the idiot that was given the contract to create the head, the entire story was telling me is the one that created this nigga. You understand? And even created some deformed human beings that we have in
interesting.
like it's so the entire.
So when you hear
calm down, let me finish. So when I saw the story, I see check it again. I say, how can somebody empower a cloud this much? You understand? Then I now saw it again, and I saw that is the one even predestining people. In part of the old. I said, what the fuck is this? I beg.
So that's just
done.
It's not just because like it's just very.
That's my itch. That the entire thing is
like what I just noticed is that your ish is not necessarily with Isese. It's necessarily with every kind of or every religion that comes that uses.
I get it. But what he's saying is that yours is more clownish than all of
yours. Yours is more clownish.
Yours is quite different. Do you know that?
Because it's very clownish.
Because ours is obvious. Not necessarily. We don't even need to lie about it. Like because how you tell me to a rational being that because somebody when he was making them inside was them, that's why it makes some people die.
Because we are rational, that's why we are asking you.
And even me, I'm rational. I'm telling you that I do not believe that story is a fact. I understand that story is not a fact.
So don't look into Isese if you want to see find the cause.
If you are hoping that every story in the what's the name is the accurate truth. No, that's not what Isese is.
As no iota of truth. There's no guarantee that there's any iota of truth.
No iota of truth. It's
just the entire setup is a lie and is agreeing to it. Good.
The difference
like the stories are stories, like I said. So that's the point. If you think stories are lies, well, good for you.
The difference between us is the fact that the Bible, or as much as I might admit that maybe there's some error inside it, I agree that I believe that it is true. I believe that the story that God created heaven and earth, that God actually created, there is a God.
Let me give you, okay.
Wait, there is a God that created heaven and earth, and then there is a story of Jesus that died on the cross. I believe that it actually happened. It's not a parable that maybe.
I understand that. I totally understand you believing that those stories are. Let me give you an example story again. Is the story of the Tower of Babel, where the humans were building a temple and it was reaching God, and God was like, these people will soon reach me, let me disturb their language so that they will stay apart. You, for instance, you believe that God is somewhere up there, that if we start building, we reach him. Is that not true? You believe that story is accurate, like this, historically accurate, that if there's a way where we can build and reach God.
In fact, Christian says, let me make a point. In fact, Christians believe that it's one of the reasons for so many languages in the world. That event is a causal factor for so many languages.
We are speaking different languages. So John Wills, you believe that is true. That is a true story, true life. That if we go back in time, we see that there was a time when they were doing that, and that God was living somewhere. They were building stuff like that. If we start building it, kind of thought about we reach God. You do believe that? Don't you believe that?
Let me now tell you now. The manner at which it was written that it is a true factor. So if I personally am not like, I don't feel comfortable with this story, is somehow to me. It's different from that is what the story is meant to be. That the story is meant to be a meme.
No, like there are.
It's a meme religion.
The fact that I'm feeling
You guys are like Dogecoin and co. You guys don't have any true value.
The thing is that okay, maybe I'm speaking as someone who is rational in Isese. Maybe that's why. Because a rational Christian has told me before that he is a Christian and he believes in Jesus Christ and everything, but he knows that story is not accurate historically. So, and I know this person too is a Christian. So I think maybe if you bring somebody that is in Isese that really believes this kind of stories
by the virtue of the book.
Say that.
Say you get by the
Probably
virtue. With where the difference is here. Calm down. Where the difference is here is that this one is saying is claiming is true. You understand? In your case,
now if we look back, if we now do an inquiry into that scientifically, then we find out it's false. It's all to us that are doing scientific
exactly.
He believes this is true. But what we are hearing from you is that you believe everything in your own.
I don't believe that
memes and storytelling
is pass a message. I do not believe that they are historically accurate.
You know now.
Interesting.
You know, I don't have this information about Isese before. It is now that I'm realizing something. That everything in Isese or in the book, in the corpus, they are all
memes.
They are all memes
and parables
at best. So
I mean, there are stories.
There are stories.
Yes, there are
parables. There are parables. Yes, I think that what's the name?
There are comfortable stories for children to sleep at night.
The stories part, not necessarily for children, is there because it's in fact the life of adults. So I don't think it's necessarily for children.
So why should we allow that to
George Orwell's 1984 is a story for children. That is for children to sleep at best. I don't think that should be that's accurate at all.
It's not true. So it's for children. It's for readers who want to enjoy their fictional life.
It's not necessarily for children. It's for readers, and you find that people can take action from that. Like it's just like saying because sci-fis are fictions. So people who
I'm interested in something really more important.
It's more like Tim Gladwell, Malcolm Gladwell, what is it called? Malcolm Gladwell, David and Goliath. That has different multiple stories that point to that talk about something.
So now the funny thing is that so now there are if you realize that in Malcolm Gladwell's work, despite the stories, there are points that are being made that we preserve it. So there are things the same way in the Ifa corpus that are being preserved with.
That's of it, or the entire thing.
That is just like that. That the stories are stories, and then these are direct information about this. Like for instance, the story about the tortoise that is bribing the chief and everything like that. This now you want me to believe that is an historically accurate story. So he bribed the chief. And then
you are the one that is not believing in it. You say it's your source of knowledge. We were evaluating about what we are doing.
What I'm saying is that the source of knowledge, the knowledge that I'm saying we are driving from it is, for instance, now after that, what was the conclusion that so now don't put yourself in a situation where somebody will put you in that kind of nonsense situation and everything like that. So that was the moral of it.
We get it. What we are just saying that in one word, there are no truth value to the words in those things. So except the moral story you can drive.
So now the morals that was made there.
There are many places where their morals can be divided. That's
definitely. So I don't think there's anything more than that.
There are many places where you can derive moral story. That's what you are looking for.
How do you worship anything really as an Isese? How is it a religion? Because it's more like it's just something that even me too, I can just look at the corpus and say, oh, so I should not put
So now let me give you an example of where there are recommendations.
Why do you have to be an Isese person?
So let me give you an example. So now after such story that explains that, they say, so now anybody that after we divine this this will be Yonu for or whatever, this will be for or whatever, that the person should worship the clinical god. The person should do this. These are direct instructions that are in this thing. They are not being told as a story. These are direct instructions that this person should do this, should do this, should do that. So you are now telling me that those parts
that is given by a God you don't understand, that talks to your
ancestors, is a result of story,
and then you now follow those instructions based on your mean God.
And then when people follow those instructions and they see results, I think they have a reasonable ground to keep following.
You need to prove to us that people are seeing results.
You
need to come up and tell us this exactly this is the phone they have built. This is the whatever they have built. Like show us the result. Which result have you got?
So now
let's start from there. Which result you have got?
When we an example of the result we've got. We've got it. Me personally, I have not actually been given
provable results.
I've never gone for
which
divination.
result have you got that we can connect
I
to the
never
actual
got
activities you have done?
a divination ever.
So why are you
But
speaking
I know
to that
somebody,
effect?
for instance,
That-
who said he was told that he should not dabble in I think he said like speculative businesses. And he was referencing that if he had known that before he dabbled into crypto, his life would have saved a lot more money. So I know such person will avoid speculative business.
I can without reading in fact, I can tell people to not dabble into speculative business.
Well,
I've been doing that since
Everybody has brain.
Everybody has brain.
Well,
We say
That is
that.
capable of thinking.
now what
I
this
said,
was saying now is that what this thing is saying now is that it's not for everybody. Because there are people who dabble into these speculative businesses and then they are billionaires for it. They are Bitcoin billionaires and everything. So you can't say that you can just tell anybody.
It's like
that's the case.
saying, it's like
Now,
saying
this
that,
one is now
it's like
saying that.
saying that Ivankopoulos divide that somebody that smokes cigarette is liable to die
Yeah,
of inability or this thing, liable to die of.
No.
And then make it
Like,
make sense.
what you are
No,
saying is very funny because if you advise people to not dabble into this now, and they do not dabble into it, like so how do you want to prove that your advice worked?
I don't want to prove it. You used to do that too. Because in the first place, the person that dabbled into it last year that did not make money can still dabble in the future and not make money. But once you started following instruction, you will not dabble into it in the first day at the end of the day and will not make money.
So now
you need
I'm
to go
just
and
saying
tell
that-
me, you go and find evidence of people that they told, oh yeah, dabble into crypto, and they dabble into crypto and they made it because of one charm that they give them. Or because the market move.
in a beer year.
You know, if you don't move in a beer here, that we can tell you the reason why the market move. That can scientifically tell you the reason why the
What I
market
know
move.
is that what you are saying
Is even giving us second hand evidence actually.
Second-hand evidence.
Like I'm just saying that what I'm saying is that this is a general argument against religion itself, against miracles in religion.
And that's why we are inquiring into your own religion. So
This
that
one-
I know
this
whether
one
we can
is
believe.
about-
This one.
What
Stop.
I'm saying
You
is that
leave
all I'm saying is
leave
that
religion
the way it
out
is
of
in
it.
other religions.
Leave
Stop
religion.
that.
Like this case.
We don't call you. You are not to speak for every
No,
other
let me-
religion.
it's not the same.
No, make case for your this.
We
thing.
did not
I'm
call you
making
to
case for my
defend-
religion.
Wait,
And I'm saying that that's why I'm not.
We did
I
not
think that-
call you to defend other religion.
I'm not
call
saying
you
other
to
religion.
speak
I'm just saying that this is like this is not
That
an
Smith was
Isese
there last
specific
week.
issue.
He talks about his religion.
What I'm saying is that-
we shoot him gun, we shoot him barrel. He
What I'm
stands.
saying
He
is that
stood.
I
he
understand
fought.
what you are saying, that we need enough evidence.
No
But
evidence.
what I'm telling you is that if we have enough evidence, we will not even be debating whether there is God or not, whether one religion is correct or not.
So
in the
in
first
one
place,
word-
so nobody has been able to present enough evidence in the first place. That's why we are here. We are always having
your religion has not been able to
And
provide
don't
enough.
okay,
It's your religion that we are
I
dealing
think
with.
ever or like in
It's
for
you
me
from
personally.
you right now. I
Because
don't know.
because all we can rely on are
Talk
stories
less
of other
of replicating it.
Needs.
You understand? It's as in his own
I'm
as
not,
in
I
your
never, I
religion.
never claim that my
Produce results.
religion is science, like it's scientific or anything. So don't try to.
So
start
your
saying-
religion
so
advice is Jibu Jabba.
we could just like I think that's why it's a religion.
It's
In the
what
first
I'm
place.
really.
I think that's why it's a
Whatever
religion.
works.
And in the first place, it's a religion because we need.
What's your problem with this religion? Because this guy just going up and
we-
this guy just showing you
just
as a
lying,
lawyer.
just
We
lying.
just lying.
we would need to like this is just general.
Yeah,
That if we
yeah,
ever
yeah,
had
yeah,
enough
yeah,
evidence in the
yeah.
first place, there would not be debate as to whether this religion is the best religion or not. So
Joe,
that's the point.
what's your
That's why we
problem?
have belief. It won't even be a matter of belief if we had enough evidence. in the
What's
first
your problem with that religion?
Abeg.
What's your problem with that religion? Jibu Jabba aspect. Story for the gods that do not have any credence, any sort. And then now, this is where I have problem. You guys are using this Mount and Bailey stories that were coming from there, and then you are using it to do ritual killing. How is that?
Real life.
How is that granted?
that's
Real life
ritual
killing.
You will have to provide instance of somebody in Isese that is doing ritual killing before I can follow.
No,
on
you
that.
guys are doing Ababaku now.
No,
you guys
that one is an ancient practice that has been abolished.
Ogun, they
calm down.
sacrifice.
So which Ogun
They
person has
sacrifice
sacrificed God? We were asking for instance of
Historically now.
where there are historical incidents of miracles happening in Isese. And do you accept that? So you want to accept that Ogun is accepting one sacrifice historically now, automatically. When you were when the nine power of what we heard, when things you heard now are
Calm
important
down.
now.
Calm
And
down.
all of a sudden.
calm down.
Okay.
Baba, calm down.
So you need to give me an instance of
These
where
are documented-
somebody was
these are
documented
documented events.
where
These
please.
are Please, help us to pull up the last time you argued this thing. Last time we pull it out. We have fact-checked the last time. We will fact-check you again now.
Like that is not based on hearsay.
These are properly documented reports.
In recent time.
Who is asking you
Not
about
really
recent time?
sector.
People here. Calm down. I'm not taking that nonsense.
Okay.
Last week, Dan Smith was accounting for his prophet sleeping with 9 years old. It's a historical.
That's because his own religion says it's a must that he must defend his prophet for that. Me, I'm not defending any prophet about anything.
And
people that did human sacrifice. People that did human sacrifice. I believe that if they are doing it, they should be arrested. That's my own personal belief right now, and I'm an Isese person, and I'm correct to say that.
Who said you are interested in your opinion? We are looking at your religion as it is. You are just a representative here.
What I'm saying now is that my religion as it is does not say you should go and you should start killing people right now.
So your religion as it is does not carry his story. Does not carry the history that is.
So give me an historical so just because some people in my religion have done something before. In my religion has done something before. Okay. That means okay, so give me an instance that we say this is what they should be doing in my religion. You know, in their own situation, please, you can give instance of where their religion supports those things.
All those past checking that we did for their religion.
So the last time I think what part of the things we got wrong, like there were many misinformation passed into that video, like the instance of Oro. That they were saying Oro, that people
these are properly documented facts.
Which person has ever been killed by Oro? Like give me one person that you can say that.
So I should be finding
if people that have been killed. Such instance, why are we now going with that?
So everything that you know about your religion, obviously that makes it
most of the things in that last video were actually not correct.
They were not correct.
Like the things that I know were correct were the idea of there used to be a time when in Yoruba land we used to kill twins. Because I remember it was fact checked on a government website, and I was like, okay, they say so.
So
truth.
At least let's start from there. You are accepting now. Okay.
The problem is that now.
Okay, based on story.
So now, which story says we should be killing twins in that you want to hold on to as the reason why it is not like some people were actually misguided then.
What do you mean some people are misguided? Was it not part of the corpus?
It was not part of our corpus.
That's the problem.
Our corpus has nothing to do with that.
You people are saying you want to agree it.
No, you know that when you are saying the other religion, because we have to keep the same energy with other religion.
Because that's me. No, let me tell you why we have to keep the same energy. Calm down. Last week, okay, let me make a point. Last week, Dan Smith was here. He made a point that it's not even in their Quran that Muhammad should marry a 9 years old. But we say Muhammad married a 9 years old. And he understand that.
That's because, and the reason why it's a problem was because Muhammad was the representative of God.
Yes.
Now we are talking about some people who were misguided, who are not representative of God in our own religion, which can happen in Islam too. Like if someone else married a 6-year-old, 9-year-old, it will not be an issue. It will not be if a Muslim person married a 9-year-old girl, it will not be an issue. Even though that it was Muhammad. There were Christians that married 6-year-old girls. It does not have anything to do with Christianity. So now you have to tell me that our corpus really says it has to be allowed for this thing for me to agree with that. And that's
so you have to bring your corpus out that the corpus that is not even available. That's story for
if that's not what you are saying, well, I don't have much reason to
because you what you are saying now is that the people that have access to the people that have access to your corpus that end up using it for killing of twins, you are claiming that they were misguided.
So you want to tell me that so millions
you have access to your corpus?
I have access to a part.
So the people that have access to that kill twins,
so millions of people had access to the corpus. A specific set of people kill twins. So you are not telling me that those people, everybody that had access to the corpus saw that it has to do with the corpus. You want to tell me that the king of things has to do with the
part of the corpus that said that Omowu, one of the son of what's it called, Rumila, that wanted to be used as Joshua. What was that plan saying?
So you guys said it's clownery. Was it? So now you guys said this is clownery. Like that's so now the story of so if you use
another fiction story.
Exactly. You guys already agreed with that.
I know. I'm not saying another fiction story.
Another fiction story. Exactly my point. Another fiction story.
So now calm down.
Okay.
And people are not drawing the instruction that they can use people for issue from that fiction story. And yeah, that saying is not granted in your religion.
So now
people are not drawing the instruction to sacrifice from that fiction story. You are not saying it's not granted in your religion. So why is it granted? It's granted in my own religion.
My own problem now is that Now you need to give me proof of where people are now sacrificing slaves. No, because it was like sacrificing other people in my religion. You will have to give me instances of that before I can accept it from you. You have to give me instances of that because the twin sacrifice does not have anything to do with. It's not directly human sacrifice because the story does not talk about killing twins. Remember, so the killing twins is a specific issue. And it is a specific
human sacrifice.
So now you
not
saying
this guy is saying absolute bullshit.
Let's listen.
Already their this thing is rooted in oral tradition.
Exactly.
And their oral tradition says that Sango, the god of thunder and lightning, he don't invoke the matter of power and distribution. Some traditional narratives suggest that the twins could be perceived as harbingers of misfortune. That is their oral tradition. Particularly if born during the time of crisis or conflict. In certain contexts, Sango's association with justice are parallel to believe that the two might disrupt natural order, therefore leading to their abandonment and killing. Their tradition is rooted in oral tradition. You understand? So what was passed down?
So from what you read now,
that wasn't written.
So from what you read now, the killing of twins, is now sacrificed to which god? The twins that were killed.
Sango.
Did they say Shango accepted those children? Because from what you read, that was not what you read.
That's what you're talking about.
That's not what you read. If you are talking about Orisha Beji, then you are shooting yourself in the leg. Because Orisha Beji is the Orisha where we worship twins.
After you guys have changed your IP.
So we saying that Orisha Beji is
after you guys have changed your IP.
Very funny. Because which makes the story of killing twins in Yoruba land very funny. Because in Yoruba land, we worship twins.
Sango's association with justice and power led to believe that twins might disrupt the natural order.
So when they now sacrifice to Sango,
abandonment or killing.
So now, are they now sacrificed to Sango? Like they were now giving to Sango to accept them. Abi, what's the sacrifice? Does that sound like a sacrifice? Oh, I understand that twins were killed and it is wrong.
That's what we are saying now. Killing a woman life for religious belief.
So now is that human sacrifice? No, we should be using specific word. So when somebody bombs people now, is human sacrifice?
What's this?
This is killing of let's just keep it as killing of twins, not necessarily human sacrifice. The question of human sacrifice we will talk about that too separately. These are separate issues. So, and now separating them we make it easy for us to discuss them. So that's the thing. We can't just be lumping them up and saying that.
Now you are agreeing that your religion actually supports killing of twins.
No, the problem with that, with saying that is that it is.
No, I'm asking you a question. Your
oral tradition.
No, like no. Like there were oral traditions that possibly supported that. Now the reason why I'm saying possibly, you will see now the reason why I'm saying possibly is that. In recent years, we have not heard such oral tradition. So now, where these stuffs are being pulled from might be misguided. Okay, so of course, I know that since this oral tradition is susceptible to.
You guys have the Oro festival that can be verified as source of killing people. You have the
source of killing people.
You have the Abobaku ritual that also facilitates the killing of people.
The Abobaku ritual is not sacrificed to the Abobaku is not sacrificed to any god.
What do you mean? Let me tell you why it's not sacrificed to any god.
The person is sacrificed is killed with the king.
Are kings not considered as gods?
No,
are kings not considered as gods?
We don't worship kings. We call them Igbakeji Orisha. They are not Orisha. They are not the same. So now listen to the kind of stuff that causes the sacrificing of the killing of people. Is that so now they kill somebody because they believe that the person will follow the king in eternity. And which god is sacrificed to in that situation? Which god is sacrificed to in that situation? So let's not nitpick. Let's go to the root of the matter. God specifically that is accepting sacrifice of human beings.
Are we the ones to be looking
with what you've looked into? Have you seen any instance? That's the point.
I just talk about
the god that is accepting the Oro festival.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
We know what the Oro festival is. They said somebody that is a woman that sees it will die. Now you can say that is what do we call that one? God kill deicide. I agree with that. Oh, our God kills people. I totally agree with that. That our God kills people.
So you agree that
I agree with that. Our God kills people.
Religion supports killing of people. Like taking of.
I mean, if your God kills,
like our God himself takes people's lives. I agree with that.
Okay, he supports. No, it's not that just that maybe he kill them on his own. It supports the fact that people kill people. Like
humans murder humans.
Yes.
I totally agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm not debating that.
And it's acceptable.
Like it's acceptable that humans take human life. But
that
humans take human lives, Abi? That's what you are asking. That we kill people in our religion.
That your
So
Your
look
that
at
we
it.
kill people in
They
our
even
religion.
kill
Wait,
people
oh.
to appease Sango. If that's what you are talking about, this is
do
what
what?
I'm talking about.
To do what?
They even kill people to appease Sango. We did this research when we
Yeah,
were
where
fighting.
is the link to the research?
Joe, are you going to federal government?
No, let me tell you what happened with this fact checking that when we later went to confirm it, they were not linked to anywhere.
What do you mean they are not linked to
what
anywhere?
was the link to that? To saying that
I
it
have
was-
evidence of that. Those
so
top
pull
people
it
don't go back and
out.
forth.
Exactly, pull it out. That's what I'm saying. Pull it out so that we know that Shango accepted sacrifice of human being. We can say that for sure. That point that we agree with you that our religion we sacrifice
Don't
humans.
worry.
So
Don't
when you can show
worry.
me a point where a god in Yoruba land
Don't
accepts
worry.
human being as a sacrifice, takes human being.
Don't worry.
Once you can pull it out, I'm going to be fine. So, but okay, John Wiz was talking about his problem with Isese.
So now you are at least you have agreed to the fact that your religion can permit people
to kill
to
people.
kill people.
I agree with that.
Okay. Now my own problem, if you're asking about my problem, is this issue that we are having right now. The fact that there is absolutely almost nothing we can hold you on to. It takes us decades before we can even establish the fact that
That there's any good killing at all. Because you are claiming there's no killing. Until we find there's killing. There's what's it called killing? There's killing of the twins. Now we're arguing about Sango. I want to fight the Sango for you.
Now, like if you realize
You will
that,
see the continue talk with John.
the accusation has always been that our gods accept human sacrifices, and then we still don't have enough evidence till today. We can all agree that we don't have enough evidence till today that any god in Yoruba land accept human sacrifice. We can all agree with that, even in this point, as things stand right now. But I understand you that you said we cannot
but do you know that based on your oral tradition, the oral tradition says is that when there is something that is spread, they sacrifice human life so that something will stop being angry.
human life.
No,
that's not. That's
there's no oral.
I don't know. I'm not aware of any oral tradition.
You are not aware. How many
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Like this is, and I understand that if that's what you are saying is your problem, that anybody can just manufacture an oral tradition.
Don't forget.
It's the problem of your religion then.
I agree that that's the problem of religion. But saying that, that's what. Where did you come across that they sacrifice human being for Shopone? Where did you come across
This
that?
oral tradition.
Where did you come across it?
Different Yoruba people, elderly people, they say that's how they used to solve Sankmana when Sankmana is spreading.
Because me, I've heard from several older Yoruba people that's not how. That what happens is that they take it's just the way we solve the problem. Maybe it's virus, it's a viral disease or something. So now it's just the way they solve virus, which is by vaccinating people, and which is by taking a piece of that virus and using it as an agent against it. That's just what I know. That's all I know about it.
No,
and I know that there are
that's
people
all you know about it.
who know how to do that. So now you saying this one now, we need to verify it from a kind of source that can actually give us at least
what kind of source?
like if you can at least see it somewhere, not like you just heard it from two people. But I know that that's something that people you heard it from, are they Isese people?
Are they Isese people?
Yes.
How many people are
like those people you heard it from Isese people?
There are people that study Isese.
Are they Isese people? That's my question.
They are not Isese people.
So now I have to believe what people that are not Isese people are saying about Isese as truth, as oral tradition now.
So now, who are you believing?
I think it's
everything that you know. Who are you believing?
The people that have passed it down that are Isese people. Those are the people I would rather believe.
So, for instance, now you know about the fact that the all the Ifa purpose, you know about it from people that are.
I will only take somebody reciting an Ifa purpose from somebody that is an Isese person. I cannot take it from somebody that is not.
The problem is how many people are Isese. Have you forgotten that
there are so many Babalawos? That's what you're asking.
Wait. Have you forgotten that this Isese thing is what the majority of people in this place used to do in Yoruba land used to do.
Until which year?
Until maybe early 1900s or something like that. Majorly after the
so let me tell you why I will disregard somebody that is not an Isese person telling us about Isese. Mm-hmm. The reason why we disregard it is a good example is the Mount Zion movies. And apart from Mount Zion movies, even Nollywood movies, where they make claims that we have seen to not be true at all. That they just do because they just want to paint Isese the way they paint.
The point is, even your own source is an oral source. So, it's an oral source does not make. I don't have to be an Isese person before I know about everything that you have talked about today. And everything that you have talked about today, I will not automatically forget it because I'm not an Isese person.
Yeah, I get what you are saying. I agree that is a big problem with Isese, which is the fact that it is
so
only
if I'm
based
saying
on
that
oral tradition.
people that are into, even personally, I think even before this conversation, I would say I'm a cultural Isese person because I'm into, like, I like to understand culture and history and all of that, about Yoruba history and all of that.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see, I will fashion people when I say I will fashion people. Me, I don't like to cap.
Okay.
Here's a list of scholarly resources discussing practices associated with the Yoruba deity Sango, including human sacrifice.
Okay, let's see.
Reassessing the relevance and efficacy of Yoruba gods as agents of punishment. A study of Sango and Ogun. Author Rashid Akanji Okunola and Matthias Olufemi Dada Ojo.
Okay.
You understand?
In
Go and read
what
it.
did they
There's
say?
a link.
So we need to. So if you know that we just said that. Now, if I read the whole book and I don't find
Yeah, it's
That's
what's the
the
summary?
problem.
What's the summary?
That's
so
the
what's the summary? What's the summary?
That's
And where does
the
it-
summary of the Bible is explore cultural roles of Yoruba gods, particularly Sango, in context of punishment and justice, touching the practice such as invocation and ritual acts.
So now,
So they are report of ritual killings there. Go and read it.
I will definitely read it. But one thing I will do is that the audience will help you to hear it. Go and read it. But one thing I will do is
There's
that after
another
reading
book,
it,
African Religion and the Faith of Africa, author Jacob K. Olupona.
can you help us list out all the books?
I'm listening
I will
to
read
that.
everything.
Wait.
I will read everything.
You list, calm down.
The
Let me
worship
read
of
them out
Sango
now.
among Yoruba people, another book, History and Religious Practices,
Okay.
Adisa Ajiboye.
Okay.
That's the third book. So
Third book.
all those three books explore in details the practice of sacrificing human being to appease Sango.
Now, if I read those books, I will come back to rational dialogue. If I did not see such,
there's a second
I will come back to
one.
rational dialogue and I will come and say those
You
books
know
that were
how-
cited contain nothing like that.
You know how
I think that's good. That's a good place.
You
Three
know
books.
how.
Please, if you can share them with me, I'll be
Definitely.
happy. I'm definitely going
Definitely.
to
I'm telling you.
I'm going to read every single
In fact, it's
page
going to
in
be
those
in the
books.
description. It's going to be in the description.
Please, they should be in the description.
Of this,
People that are
of this
interested in
video.
Isese, please make sure you read all these books. Please make
You
sure you
want
read
to cap
everything.
me? Sango that me and do research on.
We will come back to confirm.
Sango that me and do research on. You are
Sango
saying
is
you are
accepting
capping
human
that they don't
sacrifice.
kill a woman before Sango. You
We-
dey whine me.
we are going to
I don't know
confirm
about Sakmona that this guy said. I will have done all my research on Sakmona. I don't know.
Wait, is Shepona not Oro?
No, Sakmona is different. It's what God of smallpox.
Smallpox, yeah.
So these guys are now, they are using Mont and Bailey story to grant themselves even the right to kill somebody as a ritual in their kingship, sacrifice, whatever, ceremonial. They are using it as a grant to kill twins. They are using it as a grant to sacrifice people to Sango.
Which
I
is
don't know. I'm
something
not
we are
fact
still
check. I'm
fact-checking.
not
This is
sure. I
something
can't
we are still
validate
validating.
The fact, the one of twins, right? You know, is on NIH.
No, I'm not
And he
saying
says that the birth
one
of
is-
twins. Wait, let me read it out.
I agree with the birth
I
of
said-
twins.
He agreed
The
now.
year of
They are
the birth
fact-checked
of twins was
It's the
believed.
third one that I'm listing the
But
research.
yeah,
results.
yeah,
the
Yoruba
ritual killing is
communities.
the problem. The ritual
To be-
killing is the human sacrifice is
be-
the problem here.
You
Not
will
like
see,
the
This
killing
one is
of
human.
humans.
I'm
This
going
one
to
is
Yeah, this is
list
a
all the
sacrifice to any
resources.
god. Which
All
god
the
is accepting
resources.
twins? Which god is accepting twins
All the
sacrifice?
books and resources that talk about those human sacrifice.
So
they are
confirm them,
published
please,
by
confirm them. Don't
reputable
just hear them and
publications.
say, okay, good.
They are published by reputable. Me, I will not. They are native.
But confirm
I
those
don't have any
books.
reason to
Confirm
stand
that they
against any
contain
religion.
that. That's
I'm a
just what I
native.
will say.
We look for
So
God
in
where
the
he
case,
is,
in the
whether
case
he's
they
there.
contain that, what's the?
I will come back to this rational dialogue to come and admit it. That's the thing. I
That-
promise that.
definitely.
I promise that I'm
I
coming
know
back
at
to
least
rational
he has
dialogue
come to
come
admit
and
that of
admit
it.
it.
Last time he was saying he
He
did not
came
admit
back,
that.
yeah, he came back.
Now
I
he
came
has
back
come
to
to
admit
admit
that.
it.
So I will
And
come
Ababaku.
back. If that's
So
it,
now,
and if that's not the case, I'll come and debunk it.
yes,
Just that simple.
no problem.
Good.
No problem. And I don't know about the Shakpona say I've added, but I don't know whether Shakpona. I'll do my research and I'll give you feedback on that one. So, any other question with these people, religion that are killers and liars and storytellers that don't have any truth value whatsoever? They don't even know whether their God created everyone and that, but the only thing they know that they use their ancestral father to use Akara and Ekpo to communicate with their God. I don't understand what the fuck is going on here. I don't really. Because you guys are just doing jabba. You are just coming here and there. Yeah. And you people used to do Ibori. What's that?
It is initiation into the Ifa, into the.
Now you'll be using cash fee to touch somebody's head.
Like it is an interesting process. Very interesting process.
I like the way you are carrying.
Yeah, very, very interesting. So you guys are interested. You should know that they don't have any true value. They are not claiming they know anything.
We are not claiming we know anything.
They don't know anything.
We are not claiming. We are not trying to assert something that
They
we
don't know anything. They are just believing you read Jabba.
Is mysterious.
They are not even making any true claim.
It's a meme.
It's a meme. It's a
At
mysterious
best.
creation. They are
don't know
crediting
anything
all these things that they don't want to understand. They are crediting to God.
Who gave
That's what they do.
contracts to an idiot?
Who gave God to an idiot? There is the other brother took over from me. There is any other
Who created
meaningful question for these people? Because I don't understand what the hell is going on with these people.
Going away from the spiritual or this thing, I just feel like okay, maybe it's about the people, the fact that they don't have. Maybe it's because the religion doesn't have a stick
Not
that we can hold on.
They don't even have all that. They don't even have. They don't have a book. They don't have anything. They don't.
It is very easy that you see that it is very hard for you to see an Isese person that is truly an Isese person. That does. It's not like he's still going to go to.
And you see him in church or in mosque or they will be
So-
mixing things together.
Don't mix that up.
Let him finish.
Let
Let
you finish.
So now I'm like, in my life, entire life, I've not actually spoken with somebody that is okay, aside from you that is claiming it right now.
And it's just claiming. That's what we see. Claiming. Claiming. That's the best we see
That
right
is
now.
totally
By label.
an Isese person. Now, if
Even many of the so-called Orunmila, Baba Godwin, they will still be calling themselves Afa somewhere.
so they will still be doing that. So and then it is not wrong for you in their corpus. It is not wrong for you to be doing that.
It's a meme now. The entire
It's a
thing
meme.
is
They
a meme.
know.
So what
They
I
know.
say-
So let
And
me
it's not
let me
answer
Very
that.
cloudy
Let me
something.
answer that question.
It's not an Abrahamic religion.
So I
And
said
don't
you
forget, it's not
So
an
I said-
Abrahamic
so
religion.
let
It's
me-
not an
let me-
Abrahamic
let me-
religion.
Let me
straight.
complete my question.
Just be-
Let it be calm. Let me be done cooking.
And the
John,
problem-
sorry, 1
It's
minute.
cooking.
It's not an Abrahamic religion. So yeah, go ahead.
And the problem is that okay, as a religion, you is it that you are not proud of it, or as a community, as a religious community, is it that you are not proud of your religion, or you just feel like it doesn't matter? That's why you.
No, they are politics.
comfortable-
They are fundamentally
you are
politics.
comfortable
That's why.
in the fact that your religion.
They believe that God can be rich with many ways.
Just reduced to the smallest, minimalist amount that you can ever get, from being the majority to nothing, and then there's no even. You don't have any. There's no like.
so those
you know
are
that,
two
you know that
problems.
Christians now will be like, we have to win, so people have to, and then all of every other person.
They are not Abrahamic religion.
So those are two problems. So those are
begging
two-
them
Like,
with
so
Abrahamic.
it-
Those are two
Let me
problems.
answer the
It's
question.
not like you don't take it serious. You don't really.
So
Me?
those are two problems. So
What
those
should
are
you
two-
take
those
it
are
serious?
two
You take it
problems.
serious?
So those are
Yeah.
two problems. So those are two problems. To answer for problem one, I think you are seriously misguided. I will be honest with you.
Exactly.
So now you are saying that you yourself you are admitting that some people are practicing one certain religion and you are still labeling them Isese. How does that make sense to you?
How the thing
That they are
is,
Isese.
you know how it makes sense.
When
to
you ask them what their religion is, they tell you it's Isese.
they tell you it's Isese. They tell you they still do
And-
Isese. Wait, the point is.
Give me an example of such person.
No. You know why I am saying this?
Okay.
I have one of my father. They combine the two. I told you the answer.
John, but you
But
remember
they
that
tell
you
you-
were clear on the
They are
fact that those are
majorly
Muslims.
Yeah, they will tell you they
So
are
now the
many
fact that
Muslims.
Muslims are now wearing bante does not have anything to do with our religion. They are not in our religion. Wearing bante does not have anything to do with it. I thought somebody will have that problem.
Doing
So I will
body too,
clarify
but
that.
doing body is not doesn't have anything to do with
So
it.
now this is.
Doing body doesn't have anything.
Let me
to do
tell you
with
why everybody should do Ibori, regardless of whether you are an Isese person or not. Which is what I clarified earlier on, that we cannot use that as something to make sure to time somebody to be Isese. Is that Ibori is what every Yoruba person ought to do. It is what every Yoruba person ought to do as a matter of culture. Not as a matter of,
What do you mean as a matter of culture?
Like it is cultural in Yoruba
What
land
do you
to
mean is
do that.
cultural? Is the religion not part of the culture? Is it not the
The
mix
religion is part of the culture.
So what do you mean is the
But
cultural?
you can separate that. That's what I'm saying. That now some people are now saying they are Yoruba.
You just like Christian tell me that this baptism is what everybody should do in
So
Nigeria.
now
What do you mean?
why there are people that call themselves cultural Christians. So such person doing baptism, Lord, that they are baptizing them from birth when after they give birth to them is normal practice, regardless of whether.
No, that one is
Christian.
Christian.
It's a Christian practice.
That's what I'm saying. That
Christian
it's a Christian
culture.
practice. When Christianity was a culture to some people. That same way Isese is a culture to some people who are no longer necessarily practicing Isese.
Okay.
And they are still members of that culture. That's why even when we are doing Egun dance and everything, we see Muslims, Christians, who are Yoruba people. I've not seen an Igbo person there before, or an Hausa person there before. Who are Yoruba people? They go and join these people because it's part of their culture, cultural tradition. So somebody now trying to
okay, they don't do it boring in Brazil, in Trinidad, where they practice Isese.
No, they do it definitely. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying that when you see people who are people of other religion trying to take part in such traditions, you should always understand that this is their culture. This is something you can't take away from them.
You are missing. You are getting
So
something.
now,
you are getting
okay.
something big wrong. Right? It's very something very big. I've seen people dabbling into religion at the time. So for you to not claim that the fact that they are dabbling into religion means they are not doing one of the two.
No,
it's
like
very ridiculous.
The one they are doing is one they say they are doing. So those who are far you are saying it's their problem with their religion in
They
Islam.
do the two.
Whether
And they claim
allowed.
to do the two.
They are not doing the
Because
two.
they will tell me, Bashiru, why am I calling you? So orí Ìṣẹ̀ṣe wa, ó wà pẹ̀lú wa.
So
is
but
what
when you ask them what their religion is, what do they say?
they tell you they are doing the
They
two.
are Muslims.
They tell you they are
They
doing the
are
two.
Afar now. They are Muslim now.
They tell you they are doing the two now.
Someone putting on Tesbih will call them Afar.
And
They
they
are
are doing the two.
Muslims. That's
So
just the
what you
point.
are saying that
So now what
nobody
is citing now? It's not citing-
calm down. What you are saying that nobody is capable of doing two religions at the time.
Well, that's that person's problem. I think that's the case.
They tell
That's
you
the
they are
person's
doing
problem.
the two.
So if somebody is doing two religion, what I'm saying is that the person that is an Isese person, like I defined. So John Wick's conflicting it with some people that are dabbling into the religion. That's what I'm trying to clarify. So that anybody that I say that I can declare for sure that is practicing, somebody saying he's doing the two is not an Isese person. I'm making that clear now.
So what granted is that the person that is doing that is Isese and is doing other religion is not doing Isese.
See,
No, like
Why will you say that?
Why
So
is
people cannot do two
what do
religion?
you mean he's doing Isese when he cannot claim that he's an Isese person?
He's
these
claiming
people are
so
claiming.
now.
The one that I'm talking about are
Hey, the
claiming.
person is
Person that claiming to be an Isese
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's claiming to be a Muslim and an
Claims to
Isese
be an
person.
Isese person.
Exactly.
We're more power to such person. More power to such person then. If he's claiming to be an Isese,
Exactly.
what I just know is that it's not like Isese is penalizing anybody for doing such. That's what I know for sure.
That's the point.
So now, but don't mistake somebody doing juju and start saying that person is doing Isese. That's a complete lie.
Do you have any reservation with this religion of yours? This clown religion of yours?
Well, if you choose to call it clown religion, well, good for you.
Okay,
But-
I
Can
know.
I ask you a question?
So
just before you start.
the part of the religion I have, not even the part. My biggest problem with religion entirely is the fact that it's the question of how do you raise children in this religion. Now, as somebody that wants to give my children as a life as optimum as I can guarantee to, will it make their life easier or more difficult? Like, will it make it more confusing to raise them in a religion that is one, not like generally accepted and stuff like that? So those are still stuff I'm still
Or they'll be haunting you that don't around.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to meeting people that have actually raised children in the religion and what they turned out to be and how those things are. I'm really looking forward.
You need to go and talk
meeting
to
such
Gbogbo àwọn bàbá Tifayo and
once I meet them
Elemude.
and they raise well-mannered kid, very raised kid, I will know that this is a template.
maybe
I
something you
follow.
can follow.
But at the point, like
No,
personally thinking about it is not something that
You are finding hard to figure out a way to translate your children.
Yeah.
I now have a more interesting question for you. If church people, if husband and wife are fighting, they are going to report themselves to their pastor. Abi?
Yeah.
In Islam, if the husband and wife are fighting, they find the chief mama around or their cleric, they will report themselves. If you and your wife are fighting, who will you report to?
No, I know. Personally, if my wife is reporting our marriage issue to anybody at all, that's a problem. But I know where you are driving at that. So you go and meet a babalawo. So now, that's why people
So
like
your
me,
wife will report it to a
I think that's
babalawo.
why people like me are fans of Isese. Because Isese has gotten a bad rap, even the banning of.
No, I get it. So
Yeah,
on Twitter, one day you just go and say, my wife went to report me to her. Abi, what do you call it? Abi, what do you call it?
Babalawo. Many people start thinking, his wife has gone to do juju on him.
Headline.
Because that's what people always.
Headline records.
Because that's what people always.
Bill Tracy ESQ wife reported he leak insider information.
We are working on that PR cleanup.
Ladies and gentlemen,
sorry, let me just say this. We are working on that PR cleanup. I realize that it's beginning to take effect with especially the distinction between issue and devil. Because that one too is a serious problem. People think the devil or Satan is issue. But I see that people are.
But the issue, your own is a issue.
Yeah, it does not have anything to do with devil.
Ladies and gentlemen, you already get the gist. Everything is clownish. Everything is funny. It's ridiculous. God Almighty. I will see you in the next episode. And if you want to see other content we have done on Christianity, Islam, you can watch here. You'll be able to see those content and able to evaluate. Next week, we are dealing with diagnostics. It's not